Hello and welcome everybody to the Anti-Think Tank. It has been a while since we've done a podcast, so we are here with episode 52. We are going to be talking with our friend Ian here about the night that me, Connor, and a few other people had uh, down at a haunted plantation in central Alabama. So,
Now, mm, um, I would like to say, any of the things that you hear tonight on this podcast, you will be seeing a lot of them in an upcoming ghost hunting video that we will release on the channel. I don't know when it's going to be. It might be, a couple weeks, a month. Probably going to be a lot of heavy editing on that. But from what Connor and Ryan are saying, this was a very eventful night, and the night just ended. They were literally there no more than like a little over an hour ago. They got home. We set up the podcast. Uh, I know basically nothing of what happened on this night. I only know like a prank that they pulled on me, but I'll discuss that later. But anything that you hear from Connor and Ryan, I'm hearing for the first time as well. So guys, run us through your night. Run us through what happened with this supposed haunted plantation.
so first and foremost, this was like a very drop of the hat thing. We basically just decided to go there like 6 hours before we were there.
Mm.
Like I was at work and I was on lunch and I was like, "Hey, I'm off tomorrow." And then I figured out Ryan was off tomorrow, and I was like, "Okay, this sounds like a good time to go." And then another friend who's not part of the channel but is interested in urban exploring and all that, he was down, and then a few other people got involved, and next thing we knew, we were all there.
What's it called? Uh, like me, Connor, and Andy. Andy being a friend of the channel, close friend of Connor's. We all met up at a rendezvous point. Then carpooled over to the location. Walked in about 40 minutes or so before my sister and her friend got there. And so we don't do any ghost hunting stuff at first because we just kind of want to get a layout of the location to make sure that we don't fall through the floor, because this is a very ran down building. Like Connor at one point, we thought that he was gone. He
Like
You lost him?
this is not a joke, but like my crotch quite literally saved me.
Tell me about the balls of steel.
So it's a bit later in the night when we're doing everything, so we'll get there eventually. But like, just to show how decrepit it is, he took a step in the wrong direction and his foot just went through the floor, and he fell to the point where his balls caught the edge, and he had to be lifted back up.
Wait, so if Connor in another world, if Connor was just a eunuch, he would have died there?
No, it was not above the basement. It was above a crawl space. So he falls probably 5 feet and twists his ankle or some shit. But then I don't know, spirits from beyond the veil just go grab him and pull him off into the fucking distance.
Okay.
Like
Wild.
if he falls down there, it is just over.
Like they probably couldn't have pulled me out.
A very eventful way to start it. Yeah, that's one thing I knew about this location is I did know that the flooring was a bit suspect.
Well, some rooms it was like perfectly solid, and in others it was like that.
It was primarily the staircase that leads up into the attic, which we were not able to go up to, simply because the flooring was so bad that we just did not trust walking on the stairs up there. Not that whatever was there didn't try to get us to go up there, because we heard through the Estes method multiple times, hey, up to the attic, come on, let's go.
Another
Like,
thing that's
to get to the
just
Estes method.
weird. Another thing that's just weird about that house is that it's obviously been there forever. And it, even though it's missing like half the roof, the majority of the building is still intact, which shouldn't make sense because it's went through decades of rain, hail, sleet, snow, the 1993 blizzard of Alabama that like none of us were even alive for, that probably buried that thing in like feet of snow, and it's just still there, okay, and it shouldn't be.
Like,
But it's a home to many it's a home to people who want to come in and have a good time. And did you guys have a good time? What fun activities did you guys do in there?
we breathed
Almost
in
die.
asbestos and fiberglass.
I, I'm hearing less paranormal and more just sheer dumbassery.
So just to go over like the way that it went, when we got there, we had to like say like, oh, that sign can't stop us. We can't read, and just ignore the no trespassing sign. Go around the gate and walk a good like what would we say, like probably about like a football field length, about 100 yards or so, to the location. The front of the building is completely boarded up. You cannot get inside of the front, so we had to like go all the way around the building, find the back of it, where there is just one small walk space to like shimmy across to get into the building. Once you get in through there, you go into the kitchen, which is where the evidence of the fire like really starts. There's one picture sitting in the kitchen that should just be torched, but is seemingly okay, especially around the face of a child.
Very creepy.
The next room is like what should be like a living room, and the flooring for it is completely caved in. So we had to like hug the left side of the wall and like dodge around the edge to make sure we don't fall through into the crawl space. And Connor, I forgot to warn him about the little clown doll that's sitting up there. And
Little clown doll.
Connor, you can go over that one.
Yeah, so basically, long story short, so we before Ryan's sister and her friends showed up, like when we were kind of doing our like scouting of the area with Andy, we were in that like living room slash den, whatever you want to call that room. And so we were hugging the wall where the fireplace was, like what Ryan was talking about. And I look up in like my peripheral vision, and there's just a creepy like clown doll that's possibly like over a century old, just staring at me from the top of the fireplace. And I like almost probably jumped into the hole out of like surprise because you're just not expecting that, and it was
Is it
creepy as hell.
is it like fairly detailed or what?
It is
Uh,
like a clown version, like you know, like Kaufmo from the Amazing Digital Circus.
Of course, of course, of course.
So the head looked like his, but with like the body of like Pennywise in a red suit, and it was all like
So
Raggedy
bad
Ann.
vibes all around.
It was all like Raggedy Ann type stuff. Here, Cricket, up here. Take a seat. Take a seat.
and you know you're already inside of a spooky building when you see that, so it's Jover.
Yeah, that part definitely sounds very creepy. What happened next?
So we make our way into like the main entrance, which is like boarded up from the inside and such. That we look over the staircase and see like, the entire section of the building. Like there's a hole from the roof all the way to the basement that goes through the stairs. And so the only way to get up on the stairs is like if you get a chair, climb up on the chair, climb up on the stairs, and then go up further from that. And we're just not doing that. More on that later.
Understandably so.
So we go into what looks to be like a den. It has like an animal carcass that's like a skeleton in the middle of it, and we're trying to figure out what the
Probably a
fuck.
possum.
Yeah. We're trying to figure out like what the fuck is going on. Uh, some more like creepy ornaments are in there. One of the like all there's what was it like 4 separate like child statuettes that were like above the fireplace, and then like after
Yeah.
shining a light on them, only one of their eyes glowed.
Connor?
Yeah, it was sorry, I didn't know he was waiting on me. Yeah, it was creepy because like what he's saying, like 3 of the 4 were normal statuettes, and then one of them's eyes reflected it perfectly, and it just wasn't it didn't look natural, and it was weird.
Now,
Yeah, that part
granted,
definitely sounds creepy. Whew.
now granted, the material used in the era, like they could have used reflective material on the eyes, and like that's just through wear and tear and just like age. The reflective material for the other ones just wore off over time. I just don't know why you would put that on a statuette of a child unless you're trying to get like a housemaid to like shit herself in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, definitely a freaky room there. I'm not a fan of dolls.
There was also a room that had like a chest in it, and there were posters for who do we say Bob Hart, I think.
Like a 19, what did you say, like 70s presidential candidate for the Democratic
Uh,
primary?
80, 80 84. I think he lost to like Walter Mondale or something.
Point being,
It's like
there's
some historical stuff.
yeah, like at least 40 years have passed since the last person who's been in here.
Okay. A good frame of reference there.
So we've been looking around. I get a text message of, hey, we're on the way. We walk back over to the kitchen area, wait for them there, make introductions, and then we start up with going room to room and doing the Estes method, which for viewers who don't know, you basically like get like headphones or whatever you can do. You plug those in, have the spirit box talking to you, and you cover your ears on the outside so that you can get no outside influence, right?
Mm.
So I sit down on the ground. I'm going first. I don't. So I know some of the responses that I gave. Connor, you know the context around them because I haven't even like talked to you about the context around them. So you go ahead for this part.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Yeah, a lot of it's meshing together as far as like where you went and then Lexi went and Andy went and like the second round in the kitchen. Like, so I don't remember which ones were first, but I just remember like there was mentions of a fire, the Great Fire. It mentioned the basement. It something about a party, and we weren't sure if it was talking about a political party or the party of our group. Um, it mentioned what else was it? It didn't. I don't think it really said anything about asking us to leave. At least not at that point. Um. Oh yeah,
That's
it mentioned Andy's name and Caden's name, I think, on
Yeah.
that first Estes method.
If I'm not mistaken.
okay. So and just to be clear, just to
Go on.
uh, just real quick, just to get like a feeling for it. So are there Did you guys say there were holes in the roof here? I know it's dark, but like if you
Not
didn't
in.
have flashlights, would you just be in complete darkness?
So it wasn't in this room. It was in like the room next to it that had the hole in the roof. This one we actually did end up turning the flashlights off at one point, and it was just complete darkness. The time that Connor's talking about, I remember them talking about after I came out of the Estes method, saying, "Oh yeah, we asked it like who it wants, and it said like and which they determined to be Andy, and then it said what I thought was like Kane, but I think they heard Caden, which very well could
Okay.
have been like the way that it was set up. It did sound like it was saying Andy and Caden, and so I do have one clip here from my sister that I will download and share real quick for everyone to hear live for the first time. As soon as I
All
get
right.
it.
So I'm really glad you guys got a lot of footage of it because it does sound, for anyone who hasn't seen any of our previous investigations, we got into paranormal investigations around a year and a half ago. We have currently, I want to say, 2 full investigations on the channel. One at a place called Hell's Gate, and one at a place called Ophelia S. Hill Elementary School. 2 full videos. We've got shorts on the channel, a lot of stuff from it. So when this uploads, it'll probably be our 3rd like full big investigation. And from what you guys are saying, this is probably the most horrifying location that we've been to.
It's the one that has had the most, like, I guess you could say, the single most accuracy. So I'm gonna play the clip right now over stream. I just put it in the Discord for everybody. When we're asking like who,
Yeah,
it was,
I'm
you
ready
can
to start whenever.
Yeah, you can hear like what they're talking about when there's someone going over everything. But there is a disembodied voice that comes through on this, according to like Lex and Caden. I've called them. I confirmed like no one was talking at that moment. So taking them at their word for that, this shouldn't, like, one of the words here just should not be there. Right, 3, 2,
Okay.
1, go.
Him.
Him? Who? Me? Connor? Caden?
Oh, you're talking about the him?
No, so right towards the end of it, you can hear the word Nicole.
Connor? Caden?
Okay, let me listen again. Ooh.
Caden?
Holy shit. Yeah, no, right there. It's like Nicole. Like very, very, very low.
Me? Connor? Caden?
Yeah, that is very low. That is very creepy.
Yeah. So, my sister's middle name is Nicole. So whenever she went back and saw that, she freaked the fuck out. Understandably so.
Yeah, because it's not obvious. It's the kind of thing where if someone in the room was trying to trick someone, like they would have, I think, made the Nicole more pronounced, but it sounds so low that it just sounds like, yeah, that is very creepy.
Like, at first, I thought that maybe it was her friend, like, you know, fucking with her. Like, I'll whisper her name here and, like, freak her out. After listening back to it, it does sound like a female voice.
Connor? Caden?
I got you. Okay, so that was definitely a creepy moment. What happened next, guys? Where'd you guys go next? Anything else creepy happen after that?
So, we've got... most of the horror that we got was the accuracy of everything. There is a moment that's going to come up fairly soon that is going to stick with me for a little while. But in this first room, like, we're in here for maybe like 50 minutes, just running the SS method between 3 separate people over and over and over again, just talking about things. Like, it keeps bringing up like a party. Hey, we're all going to come down here and start talking. It starts bringing up like, at one point it starts saying, yeah, he should probably come down here. And like, it's just like, who is he?
Mm.
And it just keeps going and going and going. Like, we don't want to leave the room because we're getting so many good responses. And at one point, Andy is under the Estes method, like, doing his thing. And my sister, like, looks at me and says, I think I saw someone here. And then, like, so I follow her out of the room. As we go back to the den area with the fireplace. And like it kind of gets like a very like sick to your stomach feeling in there. And as we're talking, I feel something like tapping my foot. And when I look down, like there's just like a basically like, as if someone had like took a piece of wood and just like tossed it on my foot.
Oof.
Just over my shoe, and like so
Creepy.
I looked down, I like looked back up at her and just like, oh fuck.
Yeah, that definitely sounds like a very like tingly moment there. I will say there like having the room with the fireplace be like a very gross feeling room. Uh, kind of correlates with the Estes method people saying the word fire. And also, I wonder why it kept saying party. Like, since it is a big house, I imagine there were a lot of parties there back, I guess, when it was active. But that is definitely a very creepy little bit. And for anyone listening, anyone who like is anyone who doesn't know much about the Estes method, one big thing that gives it credence is that with the Estes method, it is almost impossible to fake in the way that like the person who is saying things cannot know what side like what how they are leading the conversation. So like you said with like Andy being under it, if Andy really had his ears closed, which like there's you like did he look like he really had his ears closed?
Yeah.
Like if you're really like shutting your ears and everything, like you are basically on a half of a conversation that you cannot know what questions you're answering. So from what you guys are saying, this is the most like consistent answers we ever got with the Estes method with multiple different people like in a row, like going for a straight hour.
So we were doing the Estes method.
Yeah, it
throughout
was
this.
like you would occasionally get one that like kind of seemed off and like didn't make sense, but so many of them were either direct or semi-direct answers to our questions, or were like words that were consistent with the time period. Like I remember at one point it just said like Confederate, and it was like, oh, shit, like we're in a plantation, like that.
That's crazy.
It brought up like federal at one point, like the federal government, the people that the Confederacy would be fighting against at the time. Like there are, like at one point, I remember, I don't know what the context is or what was being said, but I do remember coming through and like having to respond and say slave. Like I don't know what was said that led up to that. But like being
I
in a
do believe
plantation-
it was either Andy.
Go on.
Go on, Connor.
I was just gonna say, I do believe it was either Andy or your sister, like asking, just basically, just like, were you the master or like a servant? And you just said slave, and we were like, okay, so we know like who we're talking to now.
That is such a specific answer to get.
It's
But that's the
That
thing. I
actually
mean, it
get-
lines up with it being a plantation.
Like that gives me genuine chills.
so. At first, we were getting like some fairly normal responses, but as the night like kept getting like darker and darker, and we were going there longer and longer, we started getting some more like malevolent responses. It kept bringing up evil. I think it said Satan 3 separate times. It kept trying to get us to go down into the basement, which, by the way, is locked from the outside with 3 separate padlocks.
That is so creepy. Wait,
Like,
like you can't get in there even if you wanted to?
like you could, in theory, but you would need like to like break one of the boarded up windows to get in. Like the owner of it had like I said, 3 separate like modern different versions padlocks. They weren't like 3 of the same padlock. It's like he bought 3 separate ones that would need 3 different methods of like lock picking.
Okay, pause. Wait. So like you guys said, this was a prohibited location and everything. Like, why would they care so much about people not going into the basement?
So
That's what we were trying to figure out.
So that's actually an interesting thing. The last thing that we do before we leave, my sister had an idea. So there's a tiny hole in the garage door to look through, to look into the basement, right? And I sent you the video earlier, like in like your messages on your phone. Like, go back
Yeah.
and go back and watch that real quick, and just see what.
I don't think I got anything from you. I got 2 videos from Connor.
Oh, yeah, it was part of the.
Yeah, that was a yes.
Yeah, that was Connor that sent it to you.
All right, let me check this real quick. So I really I like played these for myself, but I was talking to my boss and I really did not like actually see what was going on. So I will be watching the videos right now.
And let me just.
I can see in there.
Okay, so I see a really big reaction from Ryan's sister, but on the video itself, I'm not seeing what you guys are talking about.
Like you're not seeing what she's seeing.
No, definitely not.
So it is kind of like a blink and you'll miss it thing.
Holy crap! Holy crap! I saw it! I saw it! Oh my god! Oh my god!
So you saw the green eye.
Yes, I saw the green eye. Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh, oh no, no.
Yeah, no, dude, it was scary, right? Like, because I didn't see the green eye. So I was behind her because I was like looking at the padlocks and all that, and she came up beside me and started peeping the phone through the hole, and I kind of like saw a little bit of what she was seeing from her phone, but I obviously wasn't like holding the phone. And next thing I know, I just see her yell, and then she's like flying back, and I'm like, shit, like, what's going on?
Ryan, you have to play this on the stream. Have you played it yet?
So I haven't. I'm trying to get the window capture to go over to Discord so I can play the. Let me see properties real quick. Where is Discord? There it is.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm actually stunned. Like, oh my god.
Like that basically wrapped it up because like
Well, I
right
can see
after
you
that,
there.
his sister was like, "Yeah, okay, we're done," and so we just all started walking back at that point.
Oh my
Which one?
god.
Are you the guardian of this basement?
And I'll see if I
Okay,
can
it's
get the
terrifying the way
exact
it just
frame.
pops up on screen. Do it.
I'm going like frame by frame right now. If you want to look on the stream, so you can get like more detail.
Well, do you want to just like play the video like one time for the people before we like go back and like dissect it?
Yeah, I already played it once.
Okay. All right, so I'm at 6 seconds. 7, 8.
It happens like directly at 10 seconds in. And it is.
It's oh yeah, it's like right when it hits 10 seconds.
Like you can see small details of like the iris, and like the cornea in the bottom left, and then like eyelashes in the top right. And it has movement to
For me,
it too.
it's the fact that like okay, it's the fact that it genuinely just appears. Like it's the fact that like she's taking the video, you guys are trying to get a good shot of like whatever's going on out there, and then pop, there's just genuinely a green eye in the frame, and then it just goes back, and her reaction is so like she genuinely sounds afraid.
Like she.
Oh, yes, it really jumps back immediately after that.
Yeah, she. So, when I was talking to her, she actually like basically told me that she had like a fight or flight kick in, because like Connor he reacts to her reaction and like grabs her arm to stop her from falling, thinking that she's falling backwards, and she just kind of like pushes him towards the door. So
I can understand why, because like that is so freaky.
like the creepy part is that it does not appear on the other side; it appears in front of it.
Yeah. Okay, so
That's not like
I
a
think
glitch on an iPhone or anything, right? Like that's not like a camera glitch.
no, like that's the thing about that. Like and the people at home can like judge for themselves. I am looking at that. That just looks so unnatural and strange.
There's also the like Connor asked like, oh, like when we were going over that in the car later, you asked, well, like what color are your sister's eyes? They are blue. Like, it wasn't like the camera suddenly swapping to front view and she was like leaning in strangely. No, it is like whatever that was just like it's just fucking insane.
Like that. So in the past, we've gotten very creepy audio. You know, Estes Method audio at Hell's Gate. We got uh I'll say this. Up until this moment, in my opinion, the crowning achievement of our paranormal investigation career so far is hearing that giant thud behind that door at the end of the hall at Ophelia S. Hill Elementary. For me, this is now the moment because that is visual.
And then I'll go ahead and post the last one. So this was not done by us tonight. Me and my sister and a couple of friends had gone to this location a few days prior. This is how the group came to know about it, and like I went there, made sure everything was good. And this is the clip. I can't put it in Discord apparently because like I don't know, it's fucking stupid. But let me go turn off my air conditioner and I'll see about playing the audio for everybody.
Okay.
Alright. So, like, Ian and Connor have both already heard this. There are two separate instances of like audio phenomenon in this. So I'm curious if it comes through on Discord, like if you can like pinpoint them. I just can't upload them to Discord to actually view at the moment. But here, I'll do my best to get it close to the microphone.
Yeah, Ryan had played this for me the other day. This is genuinely horrifying.
I'm scared. That. She about to drink my
We'll keep the lights off for 5 seconds.
At home. We're on it. Oh no.
As soon as the lights went off, did you hear that?
Definitely.
Was that you?
Respond.
So, like I said, I don't know how clear it went through on the stream, but from our perspective, we did not hear either the growl at the beginning, nor did we hear the hey after the oh no. That only pulled
so
up on
weirdly,
the video file.
So weirdly enough, the hey I heard when you sent me the video, but I did not hear it on my end this time. What about you, Connor?
Oh, you're talking about from the one that he just posted, or
The one he
the
just
one
posted.
with Nick? Yeah, I mean, I heard it. I heard it more clearly when we were watching it in Ryan's car, but I still kind of heard it.
Yeah, if Ryan, that like the hay that I heard, like when I heard the video originally, I didn't hear it here this time, but so what's weird about it, and I don't know if this is a me thing, like or and anyone else thing, but I have now heard that video three different ways, and unless I literally, like genuinely, unless I have it in my hands and hearing it, I do not hear the hay, the hay like sound. When he plays it there, or when it actually happened, he called me like a few minutes later and then played it over the thing, and I heard all of the regular audio, like all of the stuff that's, him talking and everyone in that video talking, I hear it, but when you play the thing over a thing, the hay doesn't come through, but I hear it when the actual video is on my phone, so it's very weird.
The like you said, the obviously the best pieces of evidence we have is that one visual one of like the eye that's just looking into the camera, which, God, it
That one
literally
is horrifying.
it makes it makes my stomach churn.
Like and the thing is, when you pause, okay, here's what I find interesting. Tell me if you guys agree. When you're watching the video, if you pause it on the eye, it's creepy, but it's like, oh, like I guess that could be like maybe some grass or something. But when you just play the video raw and like watch it move, that's when you get the feeling that it's an eye.
It's also just
I mean, yeah, you can see like what Ryan said, the pupil and the cornea and the eyelashes, and it's like, oh, like this is very obviously something.
And like you said, that cannot be like her eyes reflecting because they're a completely different color. They're blue, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
So you got a disembodied hay, you got an eye, you got incredibly accurate answers from the Estes method, a disgusting feeling in the room that the fireplace was after having the Estes method, hearing the word fire, the great fire, stuff like that. You had a piece of wood physically put like onto your foot because you felt something down there happen, and you looked down, and it looked like a piece of wood had been just like dropped there or placed there. Um, as far as I'm concerned, like that location sounds absolutely like there's something there that we can't see. I'm not sure how malevolent it is. Uh, it doesn't sound. I got a very malevolent feeling from the one at Ophelia S. Hill Elementary. I'm not getting that here, but that may be just because I didn't go. But from a third party being myself, I will say that from someone who wasn't there, this place is haunted.
Like, let me put it this way: we went and did an Estes method like 4 separate times in a graveyard outside of Birmingham, Alabama, and I would do that for 8 hours before I spent 10 minutes in that basement.
Oof. I will say there is just such ridiculous like horror and aura around the fact that whoever is responsible for the upkeep of this plantation in Alabama saw fit to put 3 separate locks on on the only entrance to the basement, and the one video you guys got of the basement, there's a genuine green iris looking back at you. That basement is
I would like to point out
like
it does not have sclera.
mm,
Like, it looks almost like the eye itself might not have been green. Like, it looks green to me, but I don't know, because there's no whites to the eye.
yeah, there is no white to the eye at all. I just rewatched it.
Like, it looks... So, let me pull something up real quick. I want to make sure before I make the claim.
And I think the other thing that's creepier, right, is like with it appearing obviously in front of her screen and not behind the wall, that means that like me and her should have saw it like physically, but we didn't. That's
Yeah,
also another creepy part.
yeah, absolutely. No, Connor, you didn't see what she saw. You specifically saw when she showed you the video, right?
It's like I saw something flash across the screen, but like I said, I wasn't close enough to it, and I was like halfway paying attention because I was already over at the. So basically, like what happened was right. So Ryan was like, "Oh, it's padlocked, and there's like no way to get in." So I walked over to where like the sorry what would you call that thing, Ryan? Like the actual like the metal part, like the sheet that pulls up, and you know
It's just the
you pull
garage
it
door.
up to open up your
It's just a garage door.
garage door. I was over there just kind of like touching it, feeling it, seeing if it was like loose or anything, and then she came up next to me and poked her phone up to the hole to look at it. So I kind of like halfway was able to see it, but I wasn't like right in front of her phone. So I was kind of like halfway paying attention to it. And then next thing I know, I saw something like flash across the screen. And then that's when she like started freaking out and like backed up into me and I grabbed her arm. But I didn't like see the eye until we rewatched the footage. But I saw something like I knew why she jumped because I saw something go across the screen. I just didn't know what it was until we rewatched it.
Can I just say I cannot believe that she got that on video.
Like she basically
Oh
just
yeah,
saw
the
the
odd.
hole in the garage door. Like we pointed out like, oh, there's 3 separate padlocks on the garage door. What the fuck? And she's like, oh, they probably just don't want people to go in there, and didn't like think much of it. And she was just gonna like poke her camera into the little hole to see if she could spot anything, and just ended up getting what is, in my opinion, one of the most compelling pieces of paranormal like evidence I've seen in quite some time.
And I would like to say for anyone watching at home, I know that there's a lot of skepticism in the paranormal investigation community and things like that. Uh, this all happened, like all of this in the video, like we have timestamps and everything. All of this happened genuinely just a couple of hours ago. Like I was at work, I was getting calls from them. None of this is edited. Like these are not we are not people who are trying to get money off of, oh my gosh, look, we found ghosts. Like we believe in this. We believe in this and we're not faking it. Genuinely.
Like, all right. So on to the prank.
You guys good? I don't even want to talk about that anymore. Let's just go to bed. Okay, there was a how I found out about this. So I didn't want to go because I heard about the structural integrity of the flooring. And so because of that, I was like, "Oh, you guys have fun." So I didn't go. Ryan went, Connor went, Ryan's sister, Connor's friend, a lot of people, friends of the channel went. And I did not hear anything from the gang until I can actually find the exact time that I was called first by Connor. Uh, and there it is. Okay, Connor first called me. Where is it? Yes, okay, so Connor called me at 9:17 p.m. We're recording this at 12:23 a.m. Connor called me at 9:17 and he said he was like so he was joking at first. He was like, "Ian, Ryan's dead." And then did a little scream and I was like, "Okay, haha, very funny." And then I called Ryan and Ryan said, "Hey, so I'm locked in the basement. I can't get out of the basement. I don't know what's happening. They might be like doing something, joking around. And so then I called Connor back, and on Connor's end, I asked Connor, I'm like, hey, what's going on? And Connor says, yeah, we were doing a prank, and Ryan went down into the basement, and like we saw a padlock on the ground, so we put it in there and we locked it, and we didn't know that we weren't gonna be able to get him out. And so at this point, I think that they're joking. I get really convinced that they're telling the truth because I hear Ryan go. I hear Ryan like scream from the other side of the door to get him out, and so I then say, "Okay, Connor, do something." And Connor's acting like, "Oh, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do." So I call Ryan back. I tell Ryan that they've locked him in there, and he starts to get mad. And then I basically became a courier between these two absolute moron lords for around 50 minutes. The whole thing did go from around 50 minutes because there would be 5 minute lulls in between, but I'd call Connor. I'm convincing Connor to just go around the plantation looking for a key like it's Luigi's Mansion 2 Dark Moon for the 3DS 2014. I'm telling Connor, like, dude, you have to go find the key to the padlock. You can't just leave Ryan down there to die. And the further it goes on, the further I don't think that it's a prank. Like, by the time it got to be like 10:05, I was like, okay, this is really happening. He's really locked. Connor has accidentally locked him in the basement. Ryan is telling me that there are holes in the basement that he can climb through. They just need to find where the hole is and put a chair down there so that they can get him. And I'm like, okay, Connor, you need to go to Walmart and buy a ladder and go back and then put the ladder down to get him out of there. And then he's like, oh, I can't do that. And I'm like, why? And then I'm like, okay, find a hammer and smash the padlock. And then Connor's like, oh, I can't do that. I'm getting mad at Connor. So I call Ryan. Ryan says he can't get a hold of Connor. So I put Connor on the thing and merge the call. And then Ryan does a really convincing act of pretending like he's actually stuck in the basement. And the whole thing goes on. I am fully convinced that Ryan is just like going to starve and die down there, and we're going to have to replace him with like a goblin named like Blablin. Because like at this point I'm just convinced that he's going to starve and die. So I'm thinking, okay, like if this goes on for another 20 minutes, I'm probably going to like I don't know, call someone, maybe drive over there myself. I was genuinely thinking of just like using PPTO, which is, protected time that you can use at Walmart to just leave. I was genuinely thinking about using it, getting in my car and driving there so we could all just figure out what to do together as pals. And it turns out that wasn't necessary because eventually about 5 minutes later, Connor calls me and says, "Hey, it's all a joke." And then I got pretty mad, and then I didn't answer their calls for like 15 minutes. And then they called back, and they were like, "Oh, we just needed some levity." And now I see why you needed the levity because, you almost got eaten.
Yeah, like
Now you did leave out a few key things, Ryan. Unless you were going to continue with that.
What?
You may have brought it up, and I just like don't remember the thing where like it was talking about. It was either you or Andy that was doing the Ethos method, and it was like something Confederacy, like containing something in the basement, and we're like, what's that mean?
yeah, like we brought up like from my end, that was me under the SS method. It was just like, oh, containment, evil. Yep, that's where it is. And like apparently from everybody else's perspective, they were asking like, "Oh, like what did you come here to do?" Like, "Oh, containment." For what? Basement. What's done in the
Okay,
basement?
that's freaky.
Evil.
What? Okay, they said what's down in the basement, and you said and like the thing you heard over the ghost box was the word evil.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, that might actually do it for us tonight.
That's not the only thing that happened. This happens on like 3 separate occasions. It starts talking about at one point like induction, saying like, "Oh, what did like the master of this one? Oh, he wanted inducted."
Okay.
And so like everyone is trying to figure out like what inducted into what, and like I shit you not, Satan ends up like the word Satan comes through like 5 times in the next like 10 minutes. and multiple people are hearing it. Like, we're swapping people on the Estes method, and they're like, it comes up for each person at least once.
Hey,
It starts like laughing.
don't
through
love
it.
that.
It says like, at one point it goes like, "Oh, you want to play a game?" And then Andy goes, "No, we're not playing a game." And it's like, and it says, it basically laughed and said, "Let's play."
Like, it's not an option.
And then it said, "Come down to the basement." And then one said, "No, you should go to the
No.
attic." Like,
Okay.
so like one was like, "Go to the basement," one was, "Go to the attic," and then the third one was like, "You should leave. You should leave and never return."
Good lord. What was its what was its exact wording?
So from the assessment, at that point, my sister was the one like doing the Estes method, and she was the one who got like leave and don't come back.
Okay.
The one for me, it was just like repeating like basement, go under here, come on. Like it brought up like stairs, come on up. Like come to the attic, attic, come to the attic.
I'm guessing no one checked the attic.
So the
No, because
stairs,
I said the stairs were.
we probably would have if the structural integrity of the building was not completely fucked. And very likely if we go up there, we fall through the floor and die. So, like,
Of course, yes.
there's a part of it that thinks, like, oh, yeah. Like, whatever is there was trying to literally bait us into either getting trapped in the basement or falling and getting injured.
Okay, that is such a okay. That's a horrifying concept because if there are multiple entities there, that implies that, like you just said, we have basically visual confirmation that there is something in or around the basement. It was trying to get you to go in there, probably to do something. I don't know, but like you just said, like whether or not there's something in the attic is irrelevant. The point of that being, like you just said, the idea that like going up itself would have probably killed you. They were playing on you guys' curiosity. Whatever that was, it seems like it was like, oh, go into the attic. I know you want to see what's up there, just hoping that you'd fall, right?
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
the stairs were dry rotted, and, like, you can look up and, like, from the kitchen area and see into the attic.
Oh my god. That is genuinely horrifying. I can't wait to see this video. Like this video of this investigation is going to be amazing to see. Like I don't know who's going to edit it, but I'm looking forward to seeing it.
So basically, what I did instead of like going up to the attic, okay, how about we do a little compromise here? We're gonna go over to the stairs and do the Estes method there, and that's when we started getting things like soldiers, traitors, like Confederacy. We're here to contain and like stuff like and everything along those lines.
Good lord.
It also, like, so as we were doing the SS method, I had the idea to go over to the stairs alone and just see if anything, like, changed or anything happened, and right before I'm about to walk over there, it just straight up says, "We'll chase you." And
Nope.
then Andy looks like,
Not at all.
That, and then Andy looks like, "That doesn't sound like a good idea anymore." To which, yeah, Andy, I wasn't planning on going over there after that.
So to Okay, so this podcast has been so effective on me personally that like I'm genuinely looking around my room like getting freaked out by shadows. So it might be about time to call it. I will say to lighten the mood a slight bit, I do like that from your point of view, you're just like looking around like, you know, using your phone, you're using the ghost box on the phone, like, you know, trying to communicate with whatever might be there. From the entity in the basement's point of view, it's looking at that ghost box like that device cannot be. They should not be able to talk to us. Because from their perspective, from something that has died's perspective, they're used to just not being able to communicate with us. It's only been within what the last like 100 years that it's become like more commonplace to be able to discuss with them.
To even attempt it.
Well, yeah, because before like the devices, it was what the Ouija boards.
Yeah, like it's only been within the last like 35 or so years that it's gotten like that we've gotten more consistent technology just widespread amongst like people. Hello?
And we didn't even really talk about like the implications or the other possibilities of what the word slave could mean when we asked it what it was. Because obviously, like, as people who live in America, especially in the South, like, we would associate that with like the terrible, terrible things that happened within the Confederacy and within the United States beforehand. If this thing is like inhuman, slave could mean any number of things.
Like it could just imply that they can't leave the house.
It could also just like be like, oh, this would get the like this would make them listen to me. This would gain some sympathy.
Like seriously.
And it's after like thinking about it in hindsight, it's only after it said that it was a slave that it was like, come down to the basement.
Dude, okay, I'm being genuine. I'm getting freaked out. Like we're gonna have to end this one. I want to sleep tonight.
Fair enough. All right.
Yeah, it's tempting. It's tempting to sleep with the light on tonight. Not gonna lie.
Like
Yeah,
that is such a freaky idea that like it was trying to go like you like maybe like goad you guys into going to the basement because you said multiple times it was trying to goad you to go down there. Like
I think the word basement.
what has happened?
I think the word basement or go down came up 13 separate times in 2 hours.
And there's only one way to get into it with the padlocks, right?
Correct. There is also technically like a massive hole in the floor that you could drop down 10 feet and probably break your fucking legs. Which, yeah,
No.
we're not doing that.
So do you guys have anything else? Anything else that sticks out?
Andy,
There was some sounds when we were like leaving.
yeah, Andy decided to take some mementos with him and grabbed 2 like chess pieces that looked fairly ornate. And while we were walking away, we kept hearing like footsteps, like a tree, like a branch literally cracked near us. And I told him, just drop the thing, just leave them. Why are you taking them? And he's like, but I want them. And so he's got those. So I guess we'll hear in like 3 days whether or not he survived.
And then Ryan's sister was smart. She had this like music sheet thing that she had originally taken, and then she dropped it like halfway to her car. And I'm like, yeah, that's probably a smart move.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, my sister and Caden, like, they left like maybe 5 minutes before we did. And by the time we got outside, they were already like halfway to their car. Just fucking sprinting.
And I was like, all right, guys, have a good night, bye.
Yeah, because by the time we got back to where the car was we were at, she was already like reviewing the footage in the passenger seat.
Well, I can't say that I regret not going, but I'll say that I'm happy you guys had an eventful night.
Oh, it was eventful, all right.
Nearly shat
All right.
myself like
And,
3 times.
and now I'm paranoid.
We have that Sims moodlet.
I'm sorry, you said-
buff right now.
So Ryan has a like a more of a tolerance for spooky behavior than I do, and if you can make that man almost void his bowels thrice, you gotta have a really freaky plantation going on.
And that was the thing. We didn't even hit like the graveyard and the barn because the
Nope.
barn was like on the opposite side of another fence and we couldn't find the graveyard. So we didn't even like hit the full experience.
This is just for the
Well,
plantation house.
maybe you can do a
No, I'm not going back to that
I
place.
don't want to go back there. I would rather do Hill solo than ever go back to that place.
Wait, really?
Like,
Wait, so Connor, you're admitting that it's scary and you don't want to go back?
I mean, it's scary and dangerous with the flooring, and also there's something in that basement.
Yeah. So, okay, so one last thing. What was I gonna say? Um, it slipped my mind. Oh yeah, no, that was it. Just that if you enjoyed this episode of the Return to the Podcast, if I'm not mistaken, we are not planning on having a schedule for the podcast like we used to. We used to do them like every Friday, and I don't think that we're interested in doing that anymore. So just look forward to any kind of content on the channel, anything we want to do.
if I can ever get my internet upgraded, live streams will probably be like, much more common. But for the time being, they'll come when they come.
Much like the ghost. If any of you would have gone into the basement, much like the ghost would have came.
It had been over.
It was gonna be on some
It had
Blade
been
Runner type
over.
shit. It said wizard at one point, and I still don't know what that means.
Like grand.
Oh. Oh no.
Okay, good night, everybody.